Welcome back. That is Nyla from the album self-entitled Nyla.
Yeah.
And I have Nyla's mama in the house.
Yes.
Yes.
Mrs. Billups.
Mrs. Billups. Look at that. Let me get it right. Let me welcome, and this is good. This is good for a Friday. I like this. Let me welcome to the show Marsha Ambrosius.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we do love the British accent. You know, you're from Liverpool, which is where the Beatles.
Originally from Liverpool, so my accent sounds like this, but it's very hard to
Cockney.
understand.
Is that Cockney?
That's Scouser.
But
I was raised Scouser is Liverpool, but Cockney is South London. South London is really thick. You know what I mean? You don't really say TH, you say Fs.
Right.
So you don't think, you think.
You think.
I'm thinking about you.
Ah.
Yeah, it's harsh. It's harsh. It's a very harsh accent. So
it is.
I have a
Downtown
mild...
Julie Brown, she's Cockney, right? A little bit.
I think so, but
yeah.
I've managed to tone down my accent, and it's really only to be able to be understood, really. When I got to America, seriously, when I got to America, I would go to like diners and stuff, or wherever it would be, ordering food, and it was like, can I get a water, please? Like a what? A water. A water? Oh yeah, a water. So I just created this twang that allows me to not have to repeat myself in America.
I got you.
That's my accent now. It's schizophrenic.
I love it though.
That accent sounded incredibly Californian.
Yeah.
Oh,
water?
The water when she tried to come back into.
See, I watch a lot of movies, so I'll just imitate what I think your accent actually
The Brits
is.
are the best at doing that, because half the cast of Walking Dead are from England, and I wouldn't even know, like Andrew Lincoln.
Right.
Yeah, and they're really good. Even Idris Elba.
He's amazing at it.
It's like,
he's amazing at everything.
I ran into him recently, and he had the nerve to tell me that I'm losing my accent. I'm like, you get booked real acting gigs for sounding nothing like yourself.
Right, exactly.
So who's losing their accent for real? Right. Or dang it.
Do you still do scones and tea?
I do.
Do you?
I do. I'm a very corny British version of like the stereotypical British.
Where do you get your scones and tea?
I make them
Marsha?
fresh.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And my tea I can get at this spot called World Market, and they still do like
I love
Tetley,
World Market. Yeah.
PG Tips, Earl Grey. And
Earl Grey, is that still a thing?
Yeah, I still very much sit there with my spot of tea. I don't call it a spot of tea. That's a myth. We don't say we don't say spot of tea.
When you say we,
anymore.
you mean us.
Yeah,
us from the global majority.
I definitely don't say spot of tea. I'll just have a cuppa.
A cup of tea?
A cuppa. No, you just say a cuppa.
A cuppa and some scones.
CUPPA. A cuppa and some scones.
What kind of scones are you making?
Just regular raisins. Raisins with like a clotted cream, which is like a really thick, heavy chantilly cream with some strawberry. Oh, strawberry.
Look,
I think I'm hungry. I'm like, oh
I
God.
what you just did.
Do you know what? That's my chill zone. That's what I do. It'll be like, well, biscuits are cookies over here. So when I say biscuits, I don't mean like Popeye's biscuits. I mean cookies. So I have a cuppa, some cookies, throw on like The Goonies or Labyrinth or E.T.
The Goonies, one of my favorite movies in
such
the
an
80s.
80s movie.
Oh my
Back
God.
to the Future, one of them, and then just have a good time.
I always miss the beginning of Goonies. I'm always just catching them in the cave. I never.
You've got to catch it from the jail
From the
scene.
beginning, yeah.
Beginning's
And then
like
the
a whole
chase
different
with the
thing.
music.
Right.
Yeah, I know it's terrible. I know soundtracks off by heart.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, it's weird.
So tell me about Marsha growing up in Liverpool.
Growing up in Liverpool with two parents that had giant afros and were just so about that black love life. It was wonderful. Like, I was just able to be as creative and imaginative as I was. My dad, even on the Nyla album cover, you can see my dad's bass, his Gibson in the background, and the amplifier, and I'd just stand in front of it and just pretend that I had purpose. At
Only
8
child?
years old. No, I have a little brother, and my dad remarried, and I have another little sister, Kira, who's about to be
name.
like mid-teen, and Kiki, her nickname is Kiki actually.
Hilarious.
We've been calling her Kiki though, so when this whole craze came out, it was hilarious. But just looking at that album cover and seeing the books on the bookshelf, it was Lord of the Rings, it was Jaws, it was Alien. Why was I reading that as an 8-year-old? But that was my childhood. I saw like The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing and Extra when I was 8. Traumatized mildly, but
Yes, I would think
opened
so.
me up to the possibility of just creativity. So I just had fun.
And it seemed to be like a very American diet of
kind
art.
of. Well, I believe it comes from both my parents, born in Liverpool, but their fathers were both African American, military based. Mm-hmm. So being in Liverpool and just moving to London, a lot of the army bases were based just outside of those cities. And I used to think I went to America every weekend because we'd go to the army bases and we would get Doritos and Twinkies, grape soda.
They didn't have that in Liverpool?
No, well, their versions of it, but that was my American fix. It was all about Oscar Mayer wieners for my dad.
Doritos are different over there. Ugh.
Oh yeah, but remember that the actual the packaging was different. The letters were so giant. It was like real orange, and your fingers would be orange for 3 weeks, even though you washed.
President.
I missed that, but that was my upbringing. So I truly believed that in my heart somewhere I was American because I used to go every week.
Is there a chasm? Because I'm fixated on the diaspora right now and pulling everybody together to kind of understand that we're, plopped off different places and just, part of the same tribe, same family.
Absolutely.
Is there a connection?
Somewhat. However, I noticed when I moved to America, it was very much, where are you from? You have an accent. It'll be Liverpool, England. And it would stop there. I've always known, being from Liverpool, England, that it didn't stop there for me. I knew my grandparents were Liberian, or on my mother's side, it was Russian Polish, or on my dad's side, it was Ghanaian. Like, I had identity. So when I came over here, it was, I'm from Alabama. Or they would name the state and it would end there. There would be no tribe attached or true root to where people were from. So I feel like Black Panther truly helped people embrace their inner Wakanda. Like everything was royalty after that. There wasn't this thing about being African or being part of one tribe. But when I come to New York, I'm like, you look just like my auntie, like such and such. And it would be like, we all could be cousins. And I believe we are.
Absolutely.
Now, we are all absolutely connected in some way, but it's fortunate coming from a place that embraced that. I went to school with every religion, every race, every creed, every color. And at some point, we were all able to celebrate our individuality along the way. Like our school year would go from, we'd have our typical Christian, Christmas and Easter, but we'd celebrate everyone. Ramadan, like we said, celebrate everybody, which was cool, but it's changed. The world is changing.
Not for the better, but we can do something about it.
It's just different.
Yeah. I think music will help bring things back, as it always has.
True. And I have that album.
Yes.
No, what's crazy is people don't do albums anymore.
Right.
It's about, double tapping and clicking and swiping and listening for 5 seconds of, is there a trap hi-hat in this or nah? Is there an 808 bass in it or nah? Well, who featured? Who's producing it? There's no cohesion. There's no story. So I feel, as a Black woman navigating her way through the US for almost 20 years, I was concentrating on a career. Like my first experience of the industry was, here's my demo. Michael Jackson loves it. Really?
Yes, let's talk about that. No, he does.
But that's exactly how it happened. Yes. I had a song that I wrote when I was 16 about a boy that worked at McDonald's. It was fun.
Is that Butterflies?
That wasn't Butterflies. Was that Butterflies?
Yes.
That was about a boy working at McDonald's?
Yeah. Wow. In Camberwell, the same place that you see on the album cover. McDonald's was like a 8-minute walk away, and I used to stand outside of there and be like, I love you. At 16, even before that.
Can I just tell you, and this might be going against the grain.
Go for it.
I loved Michael Jackson's Butterflies, but I loved Butterflies on Floetry's original album, and I think that's my favorite. That's my favorite version.
I'll take that.
It's so amazing.
What makes me happy about that is Michael Jackson said the same thing.
Did he?
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Wait, absolutely. That's why I get
Let's back up. We're talking to Marsha Ambrosius, by the way. She has her third full-length album. It's full-length, 15 songs. It's called Nyla. It is a love story. It starts from the beginning all the way down. Michael Jackson, what was he like? Because most of us see him as this, kind of, strangely odd man-child, Peter Pan type of guy. Did you actually get to know him, or did he ever open up?
We spent a lot of time actually here in New York. We recorded Butterflies in New York, and
because you sing backup on that for
yeah. So I did all the vocal arrangements. I own 70% of the record because I produced it and wrote it melodically, all of that good stuff lyrically. And getting to sit behind a mixing board and tell him what to do was just baffling at 22, 23 years old, having done, in the grand scheme of the industry, nothing to warrant that position. I should have been Quincy Jones. I should have been Teddy Riley, and Teddy Riley is parked outside with his tour bus trying to come up with another beat, and then comes upstairs and hears Butterflies. Like, I got nothing for that, bro. I'm like, but you did Remember the Times and everything else that I love and been inspired by. But Michael Jackson embraced me in a way that no one of his positions had to, you know. So I just had to honor that this is a great man passing the torch to me and allowing me to do what I need to do to make this song great. And his voice was way deeper than you'd assume. So, you know, everyone mimics his voice like, yeah, you know, like real light. I think he sounded like that because he was preserving his vocals. Like, he didn't speak loud because he was a singer for real. He was a performer for real. So he would talk lightly just to preserve that. But Mike was sexy, bro. Like, for real, he smelled good every day. I know it sounds crazy, but I said, you know what, Mike? I'm 22 now, and if I don't say it, I'll just be doing everybody a disservice. But listen here, Thriller, Michael Jackson of 1980, whatever. I was on you, bro. I was he was just blushing and be like,
that was the last time. But
Mike could get
listen, then I was too young to know what that was. Like, I wanted Werewolf Mike, not Zombie Mike. I mean, I know it's the same video, but Werewolf Mike in the Varsity Jacket. Listen,
how deep a voice we going though here? Like,
real deep.
Yo, make that beat better than that.
Yeah, but just put an air to that. Okay, like, he had a lot of air.
All right, like that.
Yeah.
Was that Michael Jackson?
Think about his vocal
but
range.
Janet's voice is deep too.
Yeah,
people don't. Yeah, wow.
It's I think it's truly a preservation thing.
Or is it to always keep people off balance a little bit, to not see you as the man that you might be because it's too threatening? Because if Michael shows up as a deep voiced black man,
True.
which he really was, and a very black man, which people don't know, very black,
right,
it is not the same pop Mike that Japanese people are falling out in concert and selling out stadiums.
So I feel like the mystique behind what that does and did for him is exactly that. Like, okay, I'll play the part and the character for you, but guess what? Philanthropy, it will allow me to achieve as the non-threatening king of pop that I am. Right.
That actually makes me think more differently now than I used to.
About him.
Yes. Not in a good way, though.
But the state.
So go ahead.
No. Your thought. I can see your mind racing where you want to take it, but
you did something to me.
It's a lot. It's a lot to take in. I feel like in the industry we lose our greats in either very, very tragic ways, or we don't honor them when they're here, and it's because we're so used to it just being what it is. Like, I was speaking about the Bobby Brown story. Did you see that came on?
You watched
All it made me feel was so bad for Whitney Houston and her daughter. I mean, I felt bad for Bobby, but I was looking at what the industry does to you. And this is Whitney Houston. Right. So I'm like, in the grand scheme of things, me coming here as a 22-year-old, 23-year-old, basically diving in the deep end. I'm at Grammy parties and everything is open bar. I heard that your last guest just speaking on addiction. You know how easy it is to just lose your mind? Yeah. Like, you can lose your mind. So I can get why I had too many people to keep me grounded. I was in the clouds, but I had plenty of people to shoot me down. Even when I could be at my bitter end and at my darkest moments, and I think as I'm a Leo, it's a pride thing. I wanted to own it and have it and do it myself. Like, oh no, I've got this, but I'm away from home. I'm in a completely different country. So when it became those vulnerable moments, I could either just acknowledge that I need some help, I need support, or I could be lonely. Fight it alone.
I think addiction looks like something different for everybody else. What I've been addicted to, a lot of people have not necessarily been addicted to. Right. I've had the opportunity to see you perform live and talk about some of your relationships on stage, and you are incredibly honest about. My
mother says a little too honest, but okay.
No, I love it. I love it. I didn't know you cursed until I came to see you perform, but coming to see you perform and then watching you get into story about how these songs came into play. it made me look at you differently, but in a way that made me appreciate you more, because some of the music that I love that you've done,
right,
especially late nights and early mornings,
sexy
as hell. And you own sexuality.
Have to.
And I love that, because I don't feel like Black women do that enough.
And that was another thing that was weird to me, getting over here, having 22 years old. I'd stopped playing basketball around about 19 or 20 because I tore ligaments. My hoop dreams were just over with. And at that time, I was playing for Women's Division 1, playing for England.
In England?
Yeah, promising, prospect and scholarship to Georgia Tech, but my season was done. So I was like, okay, what's my plan B going to be? And it turned into music just because it was an accident. So when I got over here...
What was the accident?
Tore ligaments.
So you wouldn't have been doing music at all?
No, not if I tore ligaments, no.
With your abilities, you play the piano.
I was a way better ball player than I am a musician. Balling, son. Balling's life.
I didn't even see.
Way better.
Wow.
Yeah. So I couldn't see myself not playing basketball until I got injured, and I was like, I didn't think this through. I just knew I was going to play forever until I got injured, and I was like, okay, but if I do music, if I get a cold, I can still write. If I was thinking about all the variations of still being able to
So there was no
work.
other option for you other than these two paths? Because that seems
I don't know.
like
I like teaching. I like creative writing. There's things, but I'm talking about passion.
Right. So music was a passion. It just didn't match basketball.
I mean, look how many people are doing music.
Right.
Who wants to compete with that? I'm like, I'll never make it. And I did.
You talk about being lonely, but the first time I saw you was with Floetry. And we're all right. And then
that was a homie through basketball. So even then, I'd done a song called Is This Real in the UK as a solo artist, where I'm rapping and singing. And the UK at that point didn't know how to embrace young Black girls. And at that time, I had the Halle Berry cut. I thought I was the 5th member of Jodeci. And like, seriously, or whatever, take your pick. I was all about that era. That's what, 1998?
Yes.
So I'm listening to Life After Death every day.
Oh, yeah. That was a golden era.
It really was.
It is.
It really was. So picture being the only person in the UK actually doing that. And everyone's like, who's this girl think? She thinks she's American. I was like, no, actually, I just want to make this type of music. Didn't really take off after that particular song. So I was like, I'm bored. I knew that my friend that played basketball was a poet. And I was like, you know what? I want you to put one of your poems to one of my songs called Fantasize. And we did. And that turned into Floetry. So I say all that to say, by the time we come over here and I've done the tomboy thing, my first crush is, it was Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones. I don't know why. Or Panthro from Thundercats. When I think about that, why did I have a crush on the cartoon? But listen here, Lionel and Panthro, get it. So I do posters on the wall of Mr. Dalvin and Devontae. Couldn't choose between the two brothers. One had light eyes, one was fine. Chris Webber since Michigan.
Chris Webber makes sense. That makes sense.
Wow,
that makes sense.
Kentucky.
That's the only time I could tap in.
Yeah, so I get to America and it's like, oh, you're in a group. You must be a lesbian. And then it's Say Yes comes out. Oh, they've got to be talking to each other. I'm like, I handpicked Omari Hardwick for my video, Ghost of Power, for my video. He's in the video sitting on the train sketching me. So I was like,
and you're watching,
where are you getting
and you're writing
this
organized with
this?
an S.
Right.
That was bothering me.
So I was
like, it's a Z.
What? Oh, no,
organized,
I'm British.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
So, yeah.
Wait, so are you saying that's the original language that we're wrong?
English, please do the math. Do the math.
I'm just playing with you.
Yeah, no, I get it. So it's crazy.
Yeah, and you would. So the rumor is y'all broke up because y'all broke up.
Which is okay. How can I put this? I'm a Leo. I'm very forthright. There's no. You've seen me live.
Yes.
I don't hold my tongue. No pun need to be intended. I'm very forthright about my boutness. If I were in any type of relationship, it was going to be known. If I were a lesbian, it would be known. I was never one, come out the closet. Where's this closet? The people are talking. I didn't get it. I didn't get it at all. And even if that were the case, and it sounds bad, now I have to shade you. I wouldn't be with her. If this were the case, if I was lesbian, would not be with her.
Right.
Be with Apollonia or somebody. In my head, which is...
so you would be a lipstick lesbian, which is funky.
But that
makes
makes
would be the way I would
forces
go too.
you to have to say, like, no, if I was, it would be this. And that's not fair to us. We were just friends. I said, you don't do this to two guys in a group.
No.
It's a double standard. So I'm like, well, why would you do that to two very powerful young women in the industry? And
because you played basketball, you had the, it was all of the.
I played basketball to impress boys.
I understand
because
that.
I wanted to cross over Chris Webber at one point in my life.
Loving basketball must have hit you, right?
Like Grant and Tamia.
Exactly.
What position did you play?
I was 2 and 3.
Oh, okay.
So you had a nice jump shot?
Don't past tense. Don't even past tense me. What do you mean? Still.
When's the last time you played basketball,
3
Marsha?
weeks ago. No, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, we still play. Me and my husband play.
Do you?
Yeah, we still shoot
that
around.
loving basketball. I love
Yeah.
that.
Oh, that's
So when
real
that came out,
cried my eyes
come
out.
on.
That was like, it was like the color purple of my of relationships in my life. It was like, oh gosh, please help me, love, please.
So-
and then Michelle and the cello song that came
Yes.
on. Like,
Oh, my
you made
God.
a fool of me. I'm like, come on, Sanaa, just tell him how you feel, please. It was great.
That was the greatest part of that movie.
Wasn't it?
No, I cried. It was
was,
crazy.
yes.
The shoulder shake cry. Everyone's in the movies like,
no,
I'm
when
not
they
crying.
touch, when the shoulders touch, that's a real
Listen.
cry.
So I was hoping that there would be some sort of Floetry reunion. That's never happening.
There was. And
No, y'all
what's
brought
crazy-
Amanda.
No.
Okay, talk to
Amanda
me.
Seals came on board through the record label and through a friend of mine, Ryan Press, who suggested that we. Since at that point, I'm still signed to the label. The other girl, she left.
Natalie.
Yeah. So she's left, and the label, they still want their bread.
Right.
Me, I'm still a young girl trying to make my
it,
way in the
right.
music industry.
So
So I'm
they-
like, whatever you want to do to get your coins, let's do it. So they want to put a tour together. Amanda Seals is now on tour, but this is the tail end of me watching my suicidal friend almost lose her life. And now fans, because they don't know what's going on, and I'm trying to be the loyal friend and not
Hating on
disclose
you.
all of these
Right.
truths. But I was willing to take those shots in the back for what I considered my friend. Do you know what I'm saying? So fast forward to that not working out, and I now reunite with the Flow Assist. So 2015, that tour, I met my husband on tour. I didn't even know he was going to be my husband, of course. But he was, it's crazy. He was the driver for Natalie.
Des.
Yeah.
Wow.
My road, but there he is. Hi, baby.
Oh, that's Des.
Nyla.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Des
baby
Nyla,
is
she's awake.
beautiful, and he's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I
Fine.
like them. Hey. Oh, oh my
Baba.
goodness.
So she probably
And
is
she's
so
everywhere with you. She's at the Essence Festival.
Yeah,
Like
she's living her best
Look
life.
at the
for
leather
real.
jacket, though.
amazing.
Oh my gosh, she is a beautiful
She is a
baby.
beautiful
Yeah, so the
baby.
crazy part is my road manager at the time was his friend, invited him to come on the tour, and he doesn't know me at all. He knew Floetry songs, but he was
But
like,
by the
I'll
end
leave
of the
my
tour-
corporate job, and who
Okay.
would not that's a distraction right there. I was
No,
like,
he
who is
fine.
that?
Them
Exactly.
waves are. Look,
So I asked my road
Spinning.
manager, I was like, yo, what's up with your boy? So by the end of that tour, we're together.
did you?
We
how-
moved in like 2 weeks later.
Oh my goodness.
When we got back.
And that usually happens because when it's right, you don't need all day to recognize sunshine.
Exactly.
So you beat him in basketball. Y'all play 21. What do you play?
we
1-on-1?
we played 1-on-1. He beat me, I beat him, and that was amazing. Sounds very sexual when I say it out loud. But yeah, that's what kept us together. And then by the next tour,
Marsha,
I'm
I love
serious.
it. I
By the
love it.
following year, that was a very tough tour to get to because I was forced to hear some very harsh truths about how people still feel and the animosity that was still being given from the other side of Floetry. It's like,
And you went on to be very successful
Yeah,
as an
which is
independent
no
artist.
fault of my own, but bottom lines are bottom lines. So you
Right.
can't help what that makes somebody else feel like. And when they're faced with, okay,
Because she did something with
I'm-
Music Soul Child.
right, I'm
mean,
not knocking nobody. I'm like, look, whatever happened, there were a lot of things that happened that just make Floetry never ever. It's never
never
happen. I tried 2 years back to back. This new album has at least 4 or 5 songs that were supposed to be Floetry songs.
Oh my God.
The last song,
Which one?
Grand Finale, well, Old Times, Never Be the Same Again, and Grand Finale for sure. With Grand Finale, I'd written a verse, but my whole thing is about telling your truth.
Right.
I said we went through a really, really bad time, and going back to the whole mental health issue and abuse and addiction, we have to start speaking about these things, because when you're the friend that just sits there and enables, if something really goes down, I feel like the blood is on your hands.
Yeah,
it really
and
is.
It is.
It just is. So being put in that very, very awkward position, I went to the bitter end of dang near death trying to save someone. So when I knew I couldn't save them anymore, I'm like, look, I'm just going to I have to let this go, and I'm just going to pray for you. So clearly everyone's going to blame. You have to blame somebody. So I'm the one on the other side that looks like, well, she's out here living her best life. Like, look, she's on tour with such and such, album went platinum, this and that. And I'm like, I can't help that part.
No, right.
And you can't save everybody.
And the talent is undeniable. Listen.
Which is okay, but I'm not knocking anybody. I'm just saying about me. So the following year of another Floetry reunion, because we did 2 tours back to back, 2016, that first weekend I find out I'm pregnant. 1 week into the tour, still did the rest of the tour. By the end of the tour, I'm throwing up everywhere, almost on the first row of everybody. Couldn't say anything because I was so afraid of being pregnant. I'd already miscarried in my early 20s, and that traumatized me forever. It just so happens that when Floetry gets back together, her manager is the guy that I was with, that I got pregnant by all those years ago. And she knew that. So that I'm faced with being on the road with that. And that was the first year, 2015. So 2016 comes back around. I'm pregnant. I'm in front of all of this pain and reliving all of these things that I'd really gone through. The anxiety, the panic attacks, just absolutely unbearable. So by the end of that tour, when you're smoking weed on the bus, you don't mean me well. You don't. And I just have to leave it at that. Like, you know what? This is the closure I needed. I tried, and I could actually walk away and feel a weight lifted off of my shoulders. Like, I don't have to be the enabler. You know, whoever wants to carry on, it's like lying now. Like, just let it go. Just really reveal what's really going on. Because my mother used to say, you tell one lie, you have to tell 20 more.
Right.
It's like, no, that didn't happen. Well, if I left the group, why am I in the group with Amanda Seales?
Right. I'm glad you cleared that up for me.
Yeah.
I will never ask that question again, Marsha.
It's okay, babe. And I really tried.
No, this Nyla is
it's heavy.
Yeah, and it looks amazing. I think everyone should go out and get it. And what's the best thing about being a mom?
Best thing is living life all over again. It's a clean slate, fresh start. She knows nothing other than the love of her mother and her father, and just seeing everything for the first time. So watching her experience clapping her hands for the first time, or saying her ABCs, or remembering melodies and singing them back to me, I won. I clocked life at Super Mario Brothers final level, jumped over the dragon, Deuce's princess.
Did you ever do that in real life?
Of course I did.
You are so competitive.
I love that she's on tour with you, and in photographs, and you're taking her places.
Yeah.
You just honored Anita Baker.
I did.
At the BET Awards. That was awesome. You did a great job.
It was emotional. I just remember I had nightmares that I missed my cue. I was like, Marsh, just don't cry. Just don't cry. And
why
as
would you
soon
cry?
as it's Anita Baker.
She's singing Caught Up in a Rapture.
I was right. It's Rapture.
Right.
It's BET Awards. It's her front row, and as soon as I start walking on the stage, she rises to her feet. She didn't care who was behind her,
she didn't.
or who wouldn't.
But everybody did.
Also, which is cute.
Yeah, seeing the audience,
But
Donald
I'm
Glover
talking
was
about-
reacting. Everybody reacted to you.
Yes.
You did a
It's
great job.
Her, and I'm seeing my daughter look at me from like the stage left, and I was crying.
Tell me crazy. I
don't
think BET Awards is a higher level of performance standards than every other award show by far.
Oh.
I think so. The fact that's like
they
the
have
biggest.
access.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
To
Talent.
great talent. To real
Yeah.
talent. Yeah.
I
Real
was there
talent,
when
right.
Michael Jackson came out. Remember that one?
Yes.
That BET Awards and Michael Jackson came,
Yep.
and I knew it was going to happen. I was like, I feel like I know secrets.
Because you do know secrets.
I
So tell
know.
us the best thing
What
about
I-
being Mrs. Billups, Marsha.
Being Mrs. Billups, I know that I don't have to do life alone, and that man has my back so hard that I can fall and I'll be okay.
Didn't I just say that sounds familiar,
It's
doesn't
beautiful.
it? That's all a woman wants.
Yeah.
People don't even understand. We ain't
It's
that
beautiful.
complicated.
Yeah.
Now we may be mad about the toothpaste not being squeezed from the bottom.
No, that's you.
Oh, okay. Or,
It's stupid stuff. It's very trivial in the grand scheme of things. It's the trivial things, but you know, I love it. Married life, the ups, the downs. It's just the experience. So.
is it what you thought it was going to be, or is it better?
I don't know what I thought it was going to be. I don't think I had
But you said
any
yes.
kind of...
You understand? You said yes.
True.
And you didn't have to say yes.
I think as a woman, you have to really take the position of surrendering your heart into believing that it will be reciprocated. The love that you give will be reciprocated. And once you decide that that's what it will be, someone will love you 10 times more. And you won't even know what to do with yourself. Because I think once I decided that I wanted that, when he gave it to me, I was terrified. Still terrifies me. Like it's wonderful, but at the same time, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. How could someone love all of me? Like, don't want to shave my legs today, all of me. It's the little things. I'm petty. It's wintertime. I've got jeans on, babe. You're just gonna have to deal with these under the cotton sheets. Just don't rub too hard. It's gonna hurt. It's the little things. You know, when you're single, you realize how much dumb stuff you actually do. Like,
Just
you
to
wake
get a
up in
date.
the morning.
Right.
Listen, didn't brush my teeth yet.
Right.
All of this morning breath you're gonna get, and he doesn't care. That's amazing to me. Seriously.
I love y'all. I didn't know what to expect with Marsha Ambrosius. I'm gonna tell you the truth, because I was, still in my Floetry feelings, thinking that I needed to see this again. But you've cured me of that, and I appreciate you setting that record straight. Never gonna ask about it again.
No, listen.
But
what I will say about that entire experience is it was so necessary for me as a young Black woman coming from the UK, getting to the United States, and it catapulted me into the position that I ultimately wanted. So I'm not knocking anything and what anybody did, regardless of who did what. I just want to be the best me that I can be.
Right.
So I think even on other interviews, when I mentioned like what you know of Amanda Seales coming into the group, I feel horrible for what that made her feel like. Like, imagine being a Floetry fan, you're coming to a concert and it's somebody else.
Right.
So you're looking at me like, Marsh, where that at?
Right.
And there's so much to explain. I can't say that, she's on suicide watch. She's told me to not tell anybody. And imagine that at 23, 24 years old. It was horrible. I couldn't call home. I couldn't explain these emotions. And then I've got Amanda that wants to now kill me. I'm trying to fight her. And it was all because of how I felt. It was nothing personal other than what I was going through. And I think what people don't do is just admit their shit.
All right, let's get a call in, because we literally have no time. And James, there's a person people want to talk to you. Okay, that's fine.
Go for it.
Ms. MJ. That's interesting. And DC.
Hi, fam.
Hey.
Look, you just don't know how much you bless me. And this young lady here is telling me the tidbits about Michael, which I already knew. And what you're speaking about was love and people being real. And you sitting in there with some real people right there. I've been tears. I'm in tears. I'm in tears because it's stuff that I knew, and I just got in the car and got a conversation with somebody. I said, they're talking about Michael. The man is real, and I just wish we would embrace, like you said, one another. We need to take care of our own and really acknowledge. But if you deal with the truth, bringing that truth is it. And I'm telling you, like I said, you end up with some people right there that I love to pieces. I got folk now. They said, Denise, you told me about Karen Hunter. I said, yes. You told me from the beginning. I said, yes. I listened to it. Yes. We need this. We need this. It's our
Amen.
healing.
Thank you.
Amen. Amen. Truth.
So I'm
Do that again.
Yeah.
Which one?
All
Amen.
of that. Yeah, no, that
All
was
of
some
the
good
riffs.
singing right there. That was some.
Do
Do you sing to your baby?
I do.
What do you sing to her?
Everything. She loves the wheels on the bus go round and round right now.
What does that sound like?
The wheels on the bus go round and round.
You sing it regular?
Round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round. And she'll come in all through the town with her little like squeaky voice. It's amazing. I love it.
All right, where you gonna be? So the 28th, the album comes out, Nyla, but you can pre-order it right now. Go get it. Go get it, Nyla. Where are you gonna be?
I'm gonna be at the NJ Pack tomorrow.
I'm coming.
Are you? You got your tickets already?
Out.
You are so shady, cousin Sil.
She's like, I'm up here like, I know Marsha. I know where she's gonna be here.
All right.
So that's happening, but I am going on tour with Maxwell.
What?
So we're doing the 50 Intimate Nights tour. And it's, we're going to be everywhere. It's 50 dates. 50, so
50? So you coming back to Jersey?
Yes, we'll absolutely be here. So yeah.
Does he have any new music? I'm so sick of him.
He's putting it. Yeah, he's doing some new stuff.
The Pretty Wings that he dropped.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, and then had us wait for 2 years.
I know.
I promise you, I'm a karate chop his ass when I see him and then take his clothes off.
It's all about exclusivity. You know, if you keep you've got to hold back somewhere. So see how you feel right now? Like, I'm gonna get him. I need some more music. You fiend for that. That's love.
I'm a Maxwell addict.
Yeah.
What do you call that? Is that a Max? Crackhead?
Maxaholic. That's a good one.
Yeah, I got some issues.
Well, he got on his knees and kind of
he did do some stuff.
Yeah, he did.
I tried to act coquettish about it. I was like, boy, get up from there.
That's on the next episode.
Wait, just playing with me. Stop playing back with your nasty self. Anyway, so 50 dates with Maxwell.
Yeah,
I'm in.
So go to Ticketmaster. Or you can
I'm gonna go to Cousin Sil because she seems to have the hookup.
Right,
always got the
hookup.
I'm getting tickets from you.
My husband and our favorite song is Kim's. Think about the day I met the perfect stranger. So it was just a beautiful benefit.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's date night. It's date night or it's meet somebody when you're there and leave with them.
All right, so you're going to see Marsha somewhere with Maxwell. She's going to be at the Pack. Get the album 28th of September.
Yep.
Nyla, NYLA for New York, LA. That's the baby. Marsha, thank you for being here.
Thank you, darling.
All right.
You're amazing.
See, we got to go. Seaton, so don't say another thing except thank you for being here. Seaton, Cousin Sil, thank you. Good job, Shakira, Jameson, Truth in the Universe family. Hey, have a blessed weekend. I'll be on jury duty on Monday. Clay Kane will be sitting here. We'll be back on whenever. God bless.